Finance Committee meeting to order. Everybody have a chance to take a look at the meeting minutes?
Move for approve.
No, I'll second it.
All right, motion second to approve the minutes. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on claims.
Claims this evening are $1,146,269.46.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, motion second to approve claims. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on regular operators licenses.
This evening, you're recommended to approve contingent on payment of any outstanding debt owed to the city and successful completion of the background check, the issuance of 5 regular operator licenses for the period of October 5th, 2016 to June 30th, 2018 to Lacey Gleason, William Rickelman, Cecily Ripley, Tyler John Orion Damon, and Arnie Brissanen.
I move to approve the operator's licenses.
Second?
Motion second to approve the operators licenses. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on temporary operators licenses.
You're recommended to approve contingent on payment of any outstanding debt owed to the city and successful completion of the background check, the issuance of 5 temporary operator licenses for the Phipps Visual Arts Council event on 10/21/2016 to Gloria Adrian, Chelsea Kelly, Kelly Stichter, Heather Zerning, and Nicole Pedersen.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion second to approve temporary operators licenses. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on bids received for fire department consulting services. Scott?
Honorable Mayor, Finance Committee members, this is a follow-up for the direction from the Common Council to the building inspector to put an RFP out for some station remodeling for the fire station. That was about 2 months ago. We had 6 bids come back for the engineering services, and we had a couple also talk about needs assessments. David Gray went through them all with Liz, put a graph, and then we kind of went through the vetting process. We came up with there's 2 options and one we're going to recommend. The lowest price option for doing the remodel of the building was for $16,000 for a local firm from Lars Architectural Services. The recommended, what we'd like to see recommended was a needs assessment done by 5 Bugles. I think everyone had the packets and their information, and if you read through them, what they do basically is it'd be a total of $8,250, would come in, do a needs assessment for the facilities, but also do GIS mapping studies for where our responders are, where our runs are, where the growth is, a look at our existing building to see if that fits our needs or maybe what the best location would be for the future or if that's it or not. In the past, in '09, they did a study. It was more based on engineering than it was on statistical analysis. They're kind of bringing both into it. This company specializes, that's all they do is build fire stations, and they have the staff to do it. So in sitting down and going through all the information with Denny Darnold, David Gray, and myself, the recommendation from us would be to go with the 5 Bugles and have the needs assessment done. That being said, if we decide to go ahead with the engineering firm and do the remodeling, we can still go back and use the local company if that's what we decide to do or the council decides to do. Couple of the reasons too are that like I said, that last assessment that was done in '09, one, it's been a while, we've seen a lot of changes since then, but also it was with looking in the future, it's a possibility. I think there's talks with EMS, maybe not being part of the city, and also looking more at some of the new in that 7 years, there's been changes in NFPA standards and that's really what they'll do. They didn't necessarily maybe dwell on that as much in the past, and there's certain minimum standards that need to be met for training and all the other things. So, so the recommendation for the Finance Committee would be to accept the bid for 5 Bugles for the $8,250 for doing the needs assessment.
What's the source, money source?
We don't have in our budget right now. My one thing I thought of was possibly, since we have $50,000 in the budget for the personnel study that I believe is not being taken place, that might be one option if that's not going to happen this year. I don't know if that's possible or not.
I guess I'd just assume keep that in case there's a change of heart on that. I mean, that's up to you guys, but I don't know that we want to, I don't know that was an absolute definitive answer that we were never going to do that. And if we start tapping into it, then we'll have to.
So
That's up to you.
50,000 was a pretty hard cost for that?
Don't know, because we never got to the point of going out for bids on it. The one that River Falls did several years ago was in the mid-30s.
Alternate source?
Not really right now. Like, budget-wise, we're obviously end of the year budget. We really don't have it. We're over in our maintenance this year on vehicle maintenance by quite a bit. I think about 7,000 within our budget. The only other thing would be, and I don't know if we could use it, and it's hard to say, is if we come in under in our run volume, and I'm not sure if that's a source, and that's not till the end of the year.
The other option is if you wanted to do it would be contingency, and we have not, there's 89,000 something in there, has not been touched this year. That would be another source.
How much is it? 16.5?
No, this one is 8250. It's 7,507. One of the other reasons we thought about it too is also it'd be nice to get it done now. I believe the parking study and things like that are coming due around the first of the year. Also, I think it'd be kind of behoove the city to maybe, if you're having several studies, to have them come together. And obviously there is a parking lot behind the fire station. I don't know if that comes into play at all. Parking is one of the issues we're running into as we continue to get more members, and we're kind of running a little bit short on training nights and that too. So just kind of a thought of it would be nice to get it done sooner than later. Obviously, it would be nice if we had the money in our budget, but like I said, this time in the cycle, the budget cycle, it's not possible.
Devin, based on prior years, is 89,000 going to be used?
We've got a $20,000 contingency for snow removal, and we're only at about 25%. So I mean, unless it snows every day, you never know. But I think we should be fine there. So and we haven't touched it yet this year, so we'd still have 80-some thousand in there. And you always have your I mean, if there was some major emergency, you always have your undesignated surplus as well.
I think we should do it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll move that we approve the chief's request, and the funding source will be the contingent funds. What was it, 8,200?
8250. I just feel, I think all of you kind of know where I'm coming from as far as wanting and needing facilities. It's been going on for a long time, but I think it's part of me and then the city to do the due diligence and really having an accurate study done before we move forward on anything, and to make sure we are going in the right direction. We can still go back, but I think it's good to have that. And with that, the analysis where they dig in a little bit deeper to see where, obviously, we've changed a lot, and as we continue to grow, what's the best fit for the city and our partners in the fire district too.
I'll second that motion.
I hope you're right, because we've done study after study. This is going to get into a little more detail, and I hope we do use this to move forward with some type of public safety building.
Thank you.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Discussion and possible action on an application from St. Croix Grill LLC, doing business as St. Croix Grill, for a Class B beer and Class B liquor license for the property located at 417 2nd Street, and the request for an extension of the timely startup provision.
Tom Tomorrow, that's how you say the name, correct, Tom? Correct. Tom is here. He currently owns the Smiling Moose. He is proposing to have a second license at what is currently now Ellie's on Main. So essentially, he's applying for that license. It would be contingent on Ellie's on Main surrendering theirs, and then all the other contingencies that we always have. And then they're looking for April or May of next year to have an extension of the timely startup to that date.
Are you shutting the building down?
Yes, we are. We take over November 1st, and we would shut it down and immediately start to remodel it. The plans are to turn it into a full-service restaurant again. I know it's been quite a few years since it's been a full restaurant, I believe.
Do you think there'll be any extensions beyond the one you're asking for?
It seems like a pretty straightforward project from what I've seen so far, so I don't anticipate any. There has been limited access due to the current tenant not wanting us really to be around the property until he's out of there. So we really only got one look at it, and we haven't been able to get back in, so we haven't been able to get any architects to do any work yet. But we are considering a rooftop patio of some type, maybe for a third of the roof, and to go above the existing deck that's there already. But that, once again, we have to know if that's going to be feasible or not based on architects looking at the building. So, but that's a consideration. That would possibly make it go longer, that part.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Okay.
Subject to,
The license description.
yes, and
Right,
the
this is not a
premises,
reserve.
the premises
Pardon?
This is
description?
not one of the reserved ones.
No, but the licensed premises description,
Yeah.
because
Right.
that's required, and we don't know what the
Right,
building's.
the rooftop, I do not believe was on their original application, correct? The one that you submitted?
I think we put it on there as proposed
Okay.
rooftop.
I will forward that to everybody so that they know exactly. You can make a contingent on that as well.
Yeah, motion's contingent on those 2 points that
Okay.
you just raised.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Was there a second?
I did.
Randy
Okay,
seconded.
further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved.
So if maybe later in the week, Tom, you want to stop down and we can kind of go through the process of
Sure.
what happens next, okay?
Prior to when?
What?
Prior to,
Well, just later this week, if you want to stop down, or early next week, just so we can make sure we're all on the same page of
Okay.
the process.
gotcha, okay, thank you very much.
Thanks. Discussion, possible action on fuel bids.
Staff put an ad in the newspaper for the fuel bids last month. They were due on 9/22. We also advertised on the city's website. We received 2 bids, one from Countryside Cooperative and the other one from Diesel Dogs. Countryside Cooperative had the lower of the 2 bids. It is at a fixed differential price of plus 10 cents per gallon for both unleaded and diesel. So we would, staff would recommend approval of the fuel bid to Countryside Cooperative.
Could you, why is there such a discrepancy in what was the second diesel dog not in line with the bid?
I'm not sure what the discrepancy was, but that's not any different than the last several years. Countryside Cooperative has had the winning bid for 3 or 4 years at
Right.
least. And so
That's a huge swing.
that is, yep,
Had
and-
them in the past, though, where they've been that
Really?
big, too.
yes.
I'll move we approve the Countryside Cooperative.
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. And discussion, possible action on agreement for tax collection with St. Croix County.
This is a one-year tax collection agreement with St. Croix County that will expire on 9/30/2017. The city has historically contracted with St. Croix County in the past for the preparation of the real estate and personal property tax. It's at $1.75 per parcel. That's the same price as the last 2 years.
So do you see any reason not to do this?
I see no reason not to do it.
Okay, I'll move to approve
Second.
tax collection agreement.
She doesn't want to do it.
I wouldn't want to do it.
The vast majority of municipalities in the county go through the county. Some of the smaller ones do their own, but
We're not in jeopardy of them reducing the amount that they pass through to us, are we? Okay,
I have a first, I have a second.
yeah.
Yeah, seconded, yeah.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Any comments?
Yep, we got one.
Okay,
The budget review, wondering if the next 2 Mondays, if you're available, since they're kind of meeting nights anyway. Are you available for 2 budget meetings the next 2 Mondays? 10th and the 17th? Okay,
Yes.
17th, not the 10th for me.
okay. Is there any day that week that,
I'm here this week and next week. traveling.
Next week is the 10th.
I have an obligation on Monday the 10th, but the rest of the week I'm around.
So is there another night that, unless you want to do it all in the same, normally what we do is we do the personnel questions first, those, you know, the salary requests, the additional personnel, then I go back and put that information, and then we have a second meeting, so. I don't know, is there another night next week that would work with everybody?
Wednesday?
You mean the 10th is not good for you?
No.
Okay.
How about I send out an email and verify with everybody, and then
That's fine.
okay. Okay, I'll do that tomorrow morning, and then if you get back to me, then we'll get them set. Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anything else? No? Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Adjourned. Thank you.